강비 도시 예술의 다와 동제 방배지 방배 출내의 dunzi 고등대라 자제로 동인인지 송도 주배랑 제제르세세 강제 대주 창아배모 빈제 자수라 소 대소 셰드르 주쇼 사대 계대 용서를 하다 삼대 시대 대회 잠깐 인지다니 파주제를 쓰기 남들 세대 신이 때문에 거기 손대기 제재자를 남아 고스테 고치고 저러 부장도 다음에 그때 예시 알리다 레저를 주주진데 이들과 와 시행지는 게 둘레들이 패배 아니 알리기 주주즈마다 레저를 주주진데 이도 상황으로 선택할 수 있는
So paying homage to our Lord Buddha and also paying respect to His Holiness the Dalai Lama and pay my respect to all the Mahasanghas who are gathered here on this Balian Sanskrit exchange program of the third year.
주시디 네 말아서 예수 나라 저까지 전면 일제 장군 주제 예수님 통제자스 주시 때스 전면 통제자 근데 저까지 근데 장군 쪽에 고르스는 도시 주시디 숨도 주의스.
So today I would like to introduce three topics. The first topic is about epistemology and its studies. The second one is about the debate, the system of the debate. Then third one will be about Jamguju. Jamguju means the winter debate session. Right now it is going on in Galen Monastery.
나스 디토르다 네 예수까지 두두지에 슈비에서 네 그리다 초선 아주 라디오 자산 차이를 차네 자산을 두두두지 쉬셔지스 근데 생태다가
So as today we are gathering here in this monastery, so I would like to introduce this monastery briefly in the beginning.
근데 비유토라 비유적인 기신 개념을 쓸 때 비유토를 롭스 써셔요. 이제 토라는 소리 기시지게 롭스 두셔요. 근데 이게 제일 뭐 대신 두시 여기스.
So we also distributed two papers, one in English and one in Tibetan language. And those who can read the English, please refer to those papers. And those who can read the Tibetan language, please refer to those papers. And on that, I would like to introduce this monastery to the screen too.
근데 동부 체시들은 먼저 뒤에 제림 단다 인지 도를 요번은 시제인데 쇼뱅에 단다 주시디 손이 도를 쉬어야지. 근데 공다 때 먼저 근데 마선을 배셔도 근데 별에 자주 자상이다. 최제 근데 와르면서 배주름고 여러 추중이 되게 나 자상이 캐르지 나 따뜻한 kin수지 공부 자주 하라지 지금 좀 주시는 알레다 네 레자기 주주 대 비rim이 돌아오는 두세네 좀 주시기 루치 돈에 세세나 두스나이 인데레 그럼 이게 마다들이 주tum다 제네 인구 전에데 그 조화태성아 그 슈투마소스.
So although we already requested our former abbot, former chief abbot of this monastery, and also who was a senior professor at Sarnath University there, Tibetan University there for so many years, and he was a monk even during before the Chinese occupation of Tibet, and then also he was a monk who were living at Baksar Monastery right after 1959 up to 1969. So we requested our chief former abbot to give a presentation on the development of the Pali and Sanskrit Buddhism, but due to the change in the schedules, so we don't have that opportunity. So we have to skip that program.
루치차에서는 와르면서 뒤로 보시고 내장께도 상추부제 예를 주시고 다음은 시 상추 대왕나무 최근 주인 남자이나 무슨 내장계를 다 준비하고 어떻게 차례 먹고 많이 그랬어.
So regarding Kyuzubuchi, he is an expert in Sanskrit language too, and he has been a professor teaching at the Sarnath Tibetan University for so many years, and even he translated one of the Maitriya's 5 treatises back into Sanskrit language.
이제 따뜻한 데만 슈트가 맞이 쉬셔지. 그들의 마음에 거기 좀 일반만 하다가 중풍 대상 유도 최저 전부 제외된지 레시얼 통계 zel 예당 대화제 다창라와드 퇴산도 빌링 세상 남제 자상하시 예배 정원 진지에 맞다 자산을 붙일 되는 로규 러두시 쇼나서 대학 가당 대표 주에 전부 종을 조수기 조수의 우수고 손에 근데 말로 뭐지 아니 안다 조지 반대 어디셔네 아니 뭐 리그시로 리플리 푸드도 뭔가 집담나 때마다 좋아하는 배도 전부 도스네 까나래 아니 리그시로 뭐나 리시성 쇼스네 쉬네 아니 인들 성투스네 더 두즈 전에 직권 자매도 주든 숨로라 근데 성투스네 따라서 지 교육안전 쪽으로 뒷범하고 타다가 중공 정도 쳐야 돼요. 그래서 제 로사로데 실험제 근데 좀 차가 출이 생게 아니 공부로만 생체 예스 도제들이 가담 공부하고 이제 아니 도무시 무슨 중요해요. 예스
His name is Dhamma TV. So Dhamma TV, and so how this was founded is And that was given by Acharya Atisha in Tibet, and he gave an advice to the translator Nebishara. That is the name of the translator. And so Atisha gave Nebishara to build a monastery at the very okay, in the valley, yes, in the valley. Built a monastery in the valley up there. And so at that time, the translator, he again requested Adisha to be kept as a secret. And so that's why it is called Sangpu. Pu means in the valley, and Sang means secret.
딱들이 마가제네 잡아줄 생기네 제네 말수 담다 아니 세계 발전에 딱세 땅다도 정말 어떻게 마가제네 다르레스 아니 되네 마가제네 하바도 되네 마가제 장로 초를 있을 건데 라비 듀라스제네 다 교광제 중에 다 듀라스 상물로 오겠다 지금 아마존스 마토도 도스제네 듀레 제네스 도스에 마타르 근데 성부 야주스 다오지도 제가 대서가다님도 소고요래 다른 것이 로달 근데 별도 축집에 나가 근데 장구주스 대서 숨 조제네 도세 다오지도 제가 세멜로미 도세 당구요래스.
So this monastery was founded in the year 1073, and then a sequence of many great lamas or great masters were already there, starting from Lodin Sherab, Chabachusei, and so on. And then afterwards, there were developed a system of studying the Buddhist epistemology through debate or through the dialectics. And later on, again, especially from Jamyang Lama Cholong Weser, the tradition studying Rade Duta. Duta means the summarized or the compensed system, condensed compendium of Buddhist topics was started and flourished extensively.
아니 성부야주의 이야기를 소고요. 장공주의 공부를 소고요. 성부야주는 음식이 참여제 아니 유시다요스도 장공주의 공거제 장무제 이거는 좀 쉽지도 소고들 근데 가르치려고 해서 이 녀마들의 세주도 성부야주를 내비도서는 다시 시어봐서 신음마다 성부야주 내비래서 신면은 성부야주 내비래서 장구주 내셔서는 다시 요아봐서 그녀면은 다 장구주 내용말에서 어떻게 세주들의 두스.
So now we can read from the second page, the third paragraph. From that time, every year during the fourth Tibetan month, for the duration of a month and a half, there has been the tradition of holding the summer debates of Sanghu between those monasteries that study dialectics. Also, yearly debates during the 11th month within the Tibetan calendar, the winter debates of Jiang, right now the Jiang Gunchu, what you call winter debate session right now is going on, that one. The winter debates of Jiang under the auspices of Rade Monastery were held between the three great monasteries and many different other monasteries that studied dialectics for a month and a half on Buddhist logic. Therefore, greatly propagating and flourishing the start of Buddhist logic. So regarding these two, the summer debate session and the winter debate session, the summer debate session was held during the summer, and so at that time the climate and the environment is so pleasant, and so many monks were very pleased to go or to join the summer debate session. And so there is a proverb that says, if I'm not going for the summer debate, rather it's better to die. And if I enter, it's better for me to be die, to be crazy, rather than joining the winter debate station, because during the winter debate station it was so cold and unpleasant. So that was about the climate in Tibet in ancient time, not only in ancient time in Tibet, and it's not like that in India. So I will go further about the introduction of Jianggunju or the winter debate station.
성부네 조진의 마 고주네 그들과 올리비시라 네 로서 로데시라 아니 네 마진 성부 계도 부바 차부치 생게 네 마진네 제종가 로서 잡아 아니 제사 던제 팀바 아니 기루 던제 팀바 아니 제를 붙이 원로 의사 때문에 준비 주의 난세 So starting from Adisha, the monastery, the Sanghu monastery, there is a lineage of efforts, chief efforts, starting from Adisha, and then Murudeshara, and many chief efforts were there. Even Jitungapa and some others are also there within that lineage. And so the chief abbot was called Tapasambo. During that time, then Sanghu monastery was transformed into guild tradition. Before that it was a lineage of Kadamba. The transformation year was around 1370. 다원시 세금과 담주 남길 도시제네 개부 도시제네 체님과 도시를 넣어야지 맞춰요. 그래서 아니 라주 자산의 차시하고 있는 간대치를 나도 비주야 세부 시작 제외이다. 근데 간대치고 도시의 배대에 간대 지도 구바 제외로산이와需要到 지도 내가봐 주제 배조 자수需要到 지도 소수 숨주바 주제 로드 자수需要到 근데 지도 숨주 송아봐 지제 공조 준비 다음에 지도 시주 시지가 근데 로산 계제 소수제네 근데 간대치고 도시네 비주야 세부 시소제 그래서 중시하스
So for Radha Monastery, we have many chief abbots starting from Adisha. Okay, starting from Urvishara and up to now, there is a sequence of many chief abbots were there, and within this monastery, Radha Monastery, there has been many Gadintivas also produced. For example, totally we have 5 Gadintivas who were from this monastery, Radha Monastery. The 9th Gadintiva was also from Radha, and then the 25th Gadintiva was also from this monastery, and then the 30th Gadintiva was also from this monastery, and then the 35th Gadintiva, and then 41st Gadintiva was also from this monastery. 41st.
라마 로데시를 연세에 자야 장고였지. 아니 라마 단다 몰리게시를 연세 자야 충성스제네. 제자 구체적인 줄당 충성적인 줄도 도세라도다 저 차대요 그래서.
Regarding the true guru or the true system of this monastery, there are two great true gurus, Chezang and Chungzang. Chezang means the greater true guru, and the Chungzang means the lesser or smaller true guru, like that. So those two gurus are reincarnations of the Lord Vishera and Lord Deshera. Those are two translators, great translators. So then another great Rinpoche, or Dongla Rinpoche, yes. So he's also from this monastery, and lately he passed away in 2022, and he lived for 100 years, and he was, he was one of the main disciples of Ling Rinpoche, the former tutor. Formerly the tutors for his son is the Dalai Lama. So he was one of the main disciples of Ling Rinpoche too, and he had so many, vast amount of many transmissions of, oral transmissions of some scriptures, Buddhist scriptures, and he was so rich in those oral transmissions, and he offered a great service towards the Buddha Shasaka and the system of oral transmission of the Buddhist scriptures. So again we have another Lama, great Lama, Radu Chuar Rinpoche, simply called, many people call Radu Rinpoche. Yes. So he was the first chief abbot after coming into exile in India. And so he was also one of the main disciples of Trijang Rinpoche, the former Trijang Rinpoche, who was the tutor for his Holiness the Dalai Lama. And
ane shiva de manzo chazang de tanda ge ri zire ne ngawa de de kezun buchi je ne chupa de ya ta mu mai bu cha de yo res chu mi ri ne ari wa ji du se chazang ke mo lo chu du se na res ne du ba de du se na mai bi de res.
So after came into exile in India, Chua Rinpoche or Ratu Rinpoche was the first abbot, chief abbot, and then the second chief abbot is Teohor Geshe Losang Dima from Jebunosling, and so he was the second chief abbot, and then the third chief abbot was Tongde Rinpoche. So again, Tongde Rinpoche is very popular among the Gil tradition. Nowadays, still he's carrying on a great responsibility for offering the oral transmissions. Then the fourth one is Geshe Rinjit Sering, and then the fifth one is right now here we have our former chief abbot who's sitting next to me here. And so then the sixth one is very special. Geshe Tudenru, who was a Westerner, who is a Westerner, and especially from USA. And then the next or the seventh one is right now our chief abbot here himself.
근데 등등에 대해서 경로라 들고 치시면 되겠어요.
Just look at this picture. This is Tungla Rabdel Buchi.
오늘 자식께서
Lived for 100 years.
이제 라디오를 붙였어요.
This is Rabdel Buchi, the first chief abbot after coming into India.
근데 중께서 붙이지.
Jomkeso
무슨 동대는 붙이.
Tongde Buchi.
게리지스리. 근데 계속 붙이지. 어리운지. 근데 대리에 된동사. 그래서 어디를 그래서 그래서 우리 이슈들다 아니 먼저 대 자산하다 변에 가지고 수폐통에 우리 먼저 가서 지지 야입에 비생각 좀 왔어요. 좀 하고 라도 경로를 붙이라도 붙이 라도 잘로서 단다 라도 계속 공부하셔야 근데 공제다 전제다 이게 지리지서 뭐 패샤 이 지자연의 미시피시 배스 도시 대화사도 패샤 근데 난 것이 근데 배우게 되려라도 가서 말수 제야 돼 계속 교수님하고 되고 제도
So after the Chinese occupation in 1959, around 48 monks of Radha Monastery were fled into India, including Radha Rinpoche and so on. So many great lamas were also there within the 48 monks, but they could not, restore the Radha Monastery until 1980s here in South India. In 1983.
근데 가래 제에서 대로 교르데 바살로 보면서 다 맞지 못해요 내에서래. 근데 망체 줄로 소소소 수있어도 왔다 지게도 가서 아니 바살로 주제 근데 뭐 제공마 그도 제공 야리 감세달라 되니까 별로 이나라도 감세 구요래. 감세 구나네다 라도 야리데 감세 제출세. 근데 제공 야리다 감세 라도 야리 제공 야리들 라도 좋은 말이었어. 감세 야다 마신 기도 지렸어요. 제공야 제공야를 로스리를 소신 고인시 부윤을 라도 야리 상황 근데 다 야종었어. 아니 성부야주다 자부주의 거라서 마 용샤샤는 지지듯이 되어래. 자갈 출리네 바슬레 지제 데레 도스네 제공야를 되는 데레 계속해서 근데 아니 라도 자산다 라수 제공 도스를 주리아슈 라도 가지고 밑에서 자자도 수수수 닦아서 퇴사래 내게 그때는 라들다 저런수다 그 말에 들어마 저거 마 약간은 남아대 근데 비주라제 아니 세제수 중국 지구에 맞춰라던 거야 말이 라들 붙이라도 좀 그거 말했어 근데 다시 교수님도 가셔야지 So
up to 1983, we could not restore Radha Monastery because although around 48 monks were there, but most of them were scattered all over. And only 5 monks of Radha Monastery were joined in Baksa Monastery. And so only the 5 monks, they could not restore a big monastery. And then also Ratun, which at that time, he advised not to restore Radha Monastery. That is not so important. Just live with the Nyare Kamsen of Rosaling Monastery. Live with them and do your practices there. To carry on your studies and practices with them. That is enough. No need to restore Radha Monastery. He gave such advices. Then also the Rosaling Nyare Kamsen of Rosaling Monastery and Nyare Kamsen of Radha Monastery were almost same in ancient time. And so with that close relationship, they joined the Nyare Kamsen of Rosaling Monastery.
아니 바스를 찾아서 있는 강다 아니 로슬링 강다 계속 이제 병원에서 어두세데 형식을 가봐 아니 라디오 군나서 얘기 라디오 기구나 아니 라디오 무슨 되는데 샤 교육으로 수지는 라디오에 단다 토주 도서 소나는 게스 다음에 바스의 남술로서 나가서 자산수수 땅용도 예 라디오 무슨 가시지는데 로스링 산체에 라디오가 좋은 계속 배우면서 쉬어와 계속 배우면서 계속 좋나 라디오 자산 마음 수요라서 지금에서 계속 좋은 말이었어 로스링 왜 요랬는데 계속 배우면서 도서에 마음보다 이라도 무슨 야샤마도 와서 유명한데 내 조사에도 남서를 조사에는 라디오 자산라서 통용 말이었어 다음에 바사라 계속 배우면서 손을 뒤에 소리에서 라디오 자산데 로슬링이 마다는 수 있다 그랬어. 로슬링가 라디오에 보다 지금은 같이 하면 요새 레슨에 바사라 그 서로 걸어먹는 그랬어.
So one of the chief abbot of Rosalie Monastery, Gyempe Janse. So he was a great chief abbot of Rosalie Monastery, and at Baksa Monastery, he advises the 5 monks of Radha Monastery to remain firmly, and you should carry on and restore your monastery in the future. And you are the seeds of your monasteries, and so you should not go out for the road constructions and so on. So he gave many advices, and even he stopped them from going for the road construction. At that time, the road construction was one issue, one big issue for the monks too. At that time, because of the livelihood, many were went out for road constructions and for their livelihood and so on. So at that time, Kesubamatansi also stopped them from going outside. Rather, do carry on your responsibilities, and in the future you have to restore your monastery. And on top of that, Radha and Rosaling are almost the same monastery, and he advises in that way.
근데 나한테 그게 제 고들 쉬고요. 이게 오늘 제주 작게 하고 비교요래. 예 노서 도지사 라디오에 비교게 예래 오늘 토벌에 나도 보통 쉬고요래. 근데 계획에서 변해 이게 잡으시고 방샤스. 나도 야사도 공부 만보지 라수치 동안 라디오 자산 라수치 뭐 가르에서 라디오 붙이네. 이제 라수치 도서는 변해 이게 쉬친 거지. 땅에 시내 제주 루지 셰시나 아니 이거 공부 다른 사람 지어도 손에 라디오 자산 라수치 도서는 고소샤스.
So you can see here we have a very senior monk staying backside there, and so he's in his late 80s, and he and some others, when they were inside Tibet, they sent a letter which says, sent a letter to the Radha Rinpoche, then chief abbot of Radha Monastery, why you are not going to restore our monastery? every other monasteries are restored, but only our monastery is left. Why do you do that one? So such letters are sent to the Radha Rinpoche, and then only Radha Rinpoche change his mind and try to restore the monastery.
The
first one is Radha Rinpoche, the second one is Radha Rinpoche.
아니 자산다 이게 다람살 고수 제일 먹지 이게 다람살 도와지 일단 나스지네 고수 이게 다람살 때문에 나도 제대제 라도 우리 이게 중요해 야설했지네 이게 중요하자 이게 봤어요 고수 배경에서 라도 자산에 변해 생긴 자산에서 이제 대마 제공이 잡고 도스제네 고수 우수 잡샤마도 다람살에 잡샤유는 당근 시 생기하고 다통말에 지금 지질하는 도서 깔려가고 차대로래 계고서 내 말을 앞에서선 네 제공로서는 사제슈 리마 인가도 리마요래 사업으로 이슈나서 주고래 도서 양시다 주셔서.
So in the beginning there was an idea to rebuild this Radha monastery at Dharamsala. Because they thought Dharamsala is a good place to get many supports and contributions, and also Radha Rinpoche was there at that time in Dharamsala. But many of the monks again requested and opposed that idea and requested Radha Rinpoche to rebuild the Radha monastery in South India, around Losling and around some great monasteries. And then afterwards, requesting Losling monastery to give them a portion of area or place to build Radha monastery. And the old Radha monastery was within the Losling monastery there. And this is the new one, which was built around 2000, around 20 years ago.
근데 당고대 제주 교수로다 대자산을 다음에 근데 자바 견제스 공소 미개스제 근데 변의 상주고 근데 개화의 공소 자도 시주스제 해마라 리뷰데 나다자 돈네 예동이 슈자슈도 자기가 잡아대야 돼. 자산들이 제도나 좋아도 나게 하나서 주셔서 슈타들이 돼.
So
한번 해봐.
So in the English on the page number 6. In 1959, while coming to exile, there were 48 senior monks that were able to come to India. Then in 1983, started the rebuilding of Radha Trasan in exile in Mongol, South India. At that time, there was Gain, Yachuba Jabajanze, and 8 other monks, totally 9 monks. After that, there came new arrivals from Tibet, such as Geshe Laramba Yunde, and more than 140 others. Also, there were many other monks from the Himalayan region that entered this monastery. As of present date in 2024, altogether there have been more than 500 monks that have entered this monastery. So I will have something for the previous one. The reasons why they wanted to reconstruct the monastery here, some around monastery is that in Tibet, in ancient time, Ratha Monastery was considered to be one of the monasteries where the Tibet system is, so prevailed. So that's why they wanted to restore the Tibet systems, restore the studies, system of the studies. So that is the main reason why they prefer more to the south rather than Dharamsala. If they were relocated at somewhere in Dharamsala, then such a system of studies for the Buddhism will not be available, accessible there. Then again we have some some cases. One of them is an abbot of monastery inside Tibet right now, and that Geshe-la is Laramba Phunzo. Then we have also one Taiwanese Geshe-Laramba who is called Shuda, and so he registered in this monastery and studied and graduated from this monastery after rigorous studies and practices of Buddhism for more than 20 years, and right now he is in Taiwan and taking the responsibility of preaching Dharma or the Buddhism for other disciples. Then also we have another Rinpoche, Tusam Rinpoche, and he is right now the director of the Tibet House in Germany, and so on. Right now, Radha Tazam has over 200 monks. With those monks, there are 21 Geshe Harvas, 24 Saint Geshes. This is another type of Geshe who are graduated from this specific to this monastery. Saint Geshe, 24 Saint Geshes, and then 23 monks that are in the process of attending the Geshe exams. That means they are attending the 6-year exams of Gilgit exams. The monks are also presently studying in accordance with the modern education. So among the 48 monks who fled from Tibet in 1959, some of them became lay people, and among them one is Sonam Tobjil, and who was once Kaluntiga. Kaluntiga means who took the responsibility of prime minister, who was a former prime minister of CTA, or the Central Tibetan Administration, Central Tibetan government at Dharamsala. And then also we have another secretary, another one who was called Losam Kidu, and he was secretary. He was the secretary, head of the Department of Religion, and also the High Justice. He took all those responsibility as the High Justice, and then also head of the Department of Religion.
세부당 지대에 타로 사대스 타소 사대스.
So that is a brief introduction of Radha Monastery. And right now, Radha Monastery, this one, here we live in a simple city, a simple way, and all our monks are engaging in our studies and practices, and we feel great nowadays.
다들 당하는 수도 주시던 거다. 거기 있어봐. 전에 거기 제가 장주로 다들 쉬고 있어요.
So now I would like to go to the second topic of introduction of the system of epistemology.
다들 제매 몸이 지수 시험을 예르다. 아니 제마다 소득에 다 남배 제머리입니다. 소득에 저가 옆에 있어요. 로를 총이라고도 하는데 아주 최기 잡았어요. 원하니까 남배 제머리입니다. 신대 수준이 좀 지레스.
So when we are talking about the epistemology of Buddhism, we should first know the founder of this epistemology and the logic of Buddhism. So for that, we have two great acharyas from India, Acharya Dignaga and Acharya Dhammakirti.
근데 김나가 그 초이랑 제시하는 제목도 제목 불러주고 나오. 아니 남아기들 오늘 출하게 되면 제목이 되었어요. 근데 또 다시 와서 주됐어.
So Acharya Dignaga composed a great text which is called Brahmana Samujaya, and then Acharya Dhammakirti composed 7 treatises on logic and epistemology, Brahmana. So all of them we called 7 treatises of Brahmana, 7 treatises of logic and epistemology with the root sutra. The root sutra here refers to the Samujaya, Brahmana Samujaya.
아니 나다지 제 제부지 제베 다다 도시 뒤만으로 책들에지요레스. 장초되는 세배 중고라 장담마상 우리 제제도 도다 기능도 장초도 죄배냥 예식과 유명세레스. 자배양 초기랑 몰라 무슨 이송 이는 마음도 아니 조합을 믿기 주로 시소리 나와토가 참았지. 이는 이름을 표준도 못세네 어떻게네. 초진에 아니 참아도 아니 참아도 도서라데 지금 장초도 죄배 남지를 봤으면 양링이 요 말했지. 나라다 초진에 나다 우리 초랑이 남다나가 아니 자매한게 우리 초랑이 참아도 동인들 같이 했다. 조이들 네 돌려가부터 나발이야 돈 마사서 자주스 동이 소들 또 보고네 돈에마다 되는 기분 말에 교회에 지수를 받고 열심히 해 지금이 제가 어디 마음으로 좋아하고 배트로 같이 그랬어요. 그리고 교회 이니에는 기도를
So in one of the compositions of Jetungaba, it says that there are around 2 or 3 verses there, which says that during that time, Jetungaba's time, and even before, among the public, including the society of monks, both including the experts and non-experts, okay? Both of them says that for the Brahmana or the logic and logical treatises, there is no paths, no practices leading to the Nibbana are shown in those treatises, and so it is no use for those who, it's no use for the monks or for anybody who wants to get up to the Nibbana. So that is the idea. Okay. Yes, no need to study the Brahmana because there is no parts mentioned in those treatises leading to the Nibbana. So that is one of the very formal, very popular idea that were available, that were there among the public. So that was the idea which was quite prevalent around the society. And for that, when Jitungapa studied the treatises of Brahmana Varatika, then Jitungapa found those treatises are not like that, and those treatises are very required, too much required for one's practices. So then also Jitungapa says there is a history for when Acharya Dignaga composed Brahmana Samujaya. At that time, there was one non-Buddhist Acharya who opposed and rebelled against Dignaga, and after so many times, they debated so many times, and maybe one time. Some issues were happened, and with that, Dignaga was about to lose his compassion, his bodhicitta. At that time, he threw at that time, Acharya Dignaga threw away the stone on which he tried to write the Samujaya, and so he threw it away in the sky. And when if it falls down, at that time he would abandon his bodhicitta. And at that time, Manjushri appeared to him, and Manjushri told him, "Okay, don't do like that. Continue to compose that treatise, and this will be just like an eye for the sentient beings in the future, and it will be very helpful in the future for other sentient beings." So with the advice of Manjushri, then Acharya Dignaga continued to compose and finished composing all the Brahmana Samujaya. And so that is one history. And everybody at that time, at Jitungappa's time, most of the people also accept that history. But on the other hand, they accept, those treatises are no use. On one hand, they accept this history, and on the other hand, they say that those treatises, including Brahmana Samujaya, are no use for the practitioners. So then Jitungappa says, those two ideas are contradictory. One should dispel, one should abandon one of them. If one accepts both of them, it is a great contradictory. It cannot be coming together. So that is what mentioned by Jitungappa in one of his compositions.
장 도정 부스에 빠르지가네 장 구조 자체도 지야 그게 다 장구조 디칸데 그 장구조 공부하러 그 돌려 먹고 싶어 또 돌려 놓아지 이랬어 뭐다 우주다 근데 그게 도와다 장구조 편에 차슈 스탠데 장고를 채워 있는 거 실험 필요 있어 마트리스에서 돌려 놓아지 여기 뜻.
So you see that that monastery is Jang monastery. Actually, Jang is the name of that place, around that place. So we call that Jang Gurba or Jang monastery. And you can see some stones here in front. There is a saying, the stone which was thrown by Acharya Dignaga in the sky, that was fall around here. somewhere around here. And so the Tibetan monks believe that if once they, accidentally comes with that stone under one's chest, when they are doing the full prostrations, if that stone, that stone thrown by Acharya Tiknaga accidentally comes under somewhere around your chest, then that can make you improve your wisdom very quickly and suddenly. So, with that belief, many monks do prostrations almost every day, everywhere, because we don't know where is that stone.
다 내가 제일 부지. 뒤는 미루마의 규주도 통내 참모부들이 참모주고 돌아배시와 또 받을 시도가 찾아서 참모주도 장기쇼 뒤도 나 소통을 뒤치자스. 아니 농종다 농도기 이거 제일 거네. 또 밖에 세매지고 이거 배 리포트 통해 조사하겠어. 이들 지금 남주에 되더니 양면파지 이거이나 또 세매지고 이거다 내번이
So in the second chapter of Paramana Varatika, Acharya Dhammakirti used so many reasons to prove our Buddha very standard, valid teacher, as well as the paths or valid paths leading to Nibbana in many different sequentials, sometimes in sequential order and sometimes the reversed order. In this way, we can develop our wisdom, our own wisdom, leading our own wisdom that are needed for the spiritual practices that are leading up to the Nibbana. So that treatises or the Brahmana Varatika is very much important for a practitioner to have a great understanding through which we can develop our wisdom in rapidly and very firmly. So there are so many reasonings there. Khenpo gives one reasoning. For example, our Lord Buddha is a very qualified, valid, great teacher, because with having the clearly, directly understanding of all the Four Noble Truths, then he teaches those Four Noble Truths and showing the path leading to Nibbana out of great compassion. So these are the reasonings to prove that our Lord Buddha to be a very valid and highly qualified teacher, not like the other teachers of other religion, and also what's that? And also is fully liberated.
Today, 이거 뭐고 집서가서 따스다는데 소소야 제가 돌아야시 판면 그게 이제 말했어. 지금 나가 오늘 오늘 다오차고 소나 이제 대주에 이제 저라 차듯이 맞세 남주치는 이 됐어요. 정말 다로 던지고 뭐 그냥 치도 아주 좋으시네. 저도 주고 있어요. 너무 시제 저는 또 제가 통치 지금 따스다. 저축생대 저 마타르샤 저거다 그 두루 많이 배다 말아서 이 나베 뭐 소를 보내 두세 내그 다세 다야 두세 차수데 별 마도 용마레스 근데 어떤 성분에 저축생대 저 마타르샤 무지레스.
So the system of debate, what we are doing here, debate is not to win oneself, not to make others defeat or lose. That is not the purpose. The purpose is to sharpen our minds, and develop our wisdom, through which our practices and practices the spiritual journey. So the Raja monastery actually was first in Sambhu monastery, and after many centuries, Sambhu, half the Sambhu was transformed into Gerupa, and still now half of Sambhu monastery is under the Saja tradition. Okay, Sambhu monastery has two divisions. One is still Saja tradition, following the Saja tradition, and another one is following Gil tradition. So there also Ratya monastery is also there in some monastery. And then afterwards another Ratya monastery was there at Nyethang, a place in Nyethang is a place in Tibet. So that is two different locations. One here, and again Jammu, that already shown in the screen. And three locations were there. Three locations are there in Tibet. So Radha Monastery, comes all those three locations, different parts of the monasteries are also under Radha Monastery. And then Radha Monastery is considered to be something very specialized in the logic and epistemology or the dialectic systems. There also, Jitukab also professified this one, this monastery as something specialized in logic and pramana.
아니 종조송에 마지 조가당에 마 인가 조가당에 대해서들의 민토대샤스 아니 야 지금 자체 공부한 자산스인데 민모슈스도 자산 그것도 우주 휴직의 시기가 되는데 소소 급수법 제어요 인자대 다이도 어떻게 민들의 도샤스 민 자체 공부한 자산스야 세상의 자산스야 되니까 어떻게 도스
세매lum이 제석이 대사제 답시우스 세상 튕기들 세상 세모지 나요스레 이거 세상 남지 자산세 되게 돕시았어 남지 자산에서 남지 진행했어
Then Jirmuchi also gave a great amount of gold to one of his great disciples and advised him to build a monastery, Radha monastery, and where where the studies and the practices of Brahmana should be carried on. So that is the reason this Radha monastery is again called as Serzan Namritatan. Serzan means golden, refined gold monastery. Refined gold Brahmana monastery.
그렇습니다. 다들 정화 옆선이네 제 전에네 근데 자라나다 고난이네 마제네 당초 때 교육 강제는 세매 안데 제가 신바들을 지나 지금 다르여서 말로 세매 전에 근데 대대 시중에서 당로는 최조서야 당로는 계획하고 쉬었다 또 제네 아니 다들 삼예 다들 괜히 시와서부터 도시에다 별로 좀 괜히 시와서다 까만라시라 제네 제네시에 도시에 다른 놈이 있어서
So starting from Acharya Dignaga and Acharya Dhammakirti, there were sequence of many Indian acharyas, and then up to Acharya Shantirajita, who went to Tibet, and from Acharya Shantirajita, then also Kamalashila, then coming down to Acharya Disha, and then Murnabishara, Murudeshara, and so many Tibetan masters. So this is the lineage of the masters who were specialized in the epistemologic and logic Buddhist studies and practices.
아니 다 세매고르디라 야 중국 강로 뚫러 나시 전에 산제 송로 야 제나 까타마기 까타마 공수 콜로스나는 또 타마 공수도 이제 야 대학도 공대나가 마제는 세매고르디다 어느 시지 무슨 세마세야나 제바 세마세야나 리파시세야나 또도 공대나래 이것도 어느 시내 교보도 교도도 나래 이거 요새래 다음에 시 말아서 용자겠다 두고겠다 소다도 도주나래 주제들이 먹고 요다 다도 삼으로 네 생각이 다 공유해서 쉬게 유스레스
So then when we are referring the references or when we are searching the references of the logic and we can find many references from the sutras because Acharya Dignaga himself derived many of the sources from the sutras. For example, one sutra which is called Samdhi Nimojana Sutra. Samdhi Nimojana Sutra. That's one type of sutra, and in our tradition, this is considered to be the third turning of the wheel of Dharma. So in this sutra also we can find many references which are related with the Brahmana or the logic and epistemology. And then also we can find some traces in the and also we can find many traces or references from other sources. These are how in epistemology are connected with our own Lord Buddha.
아니 또 말아서 소다도 또 상으로 그리고 날이야 이로다 소다 제시원의 나이 수준 냐비 시비는 데들 많이 넣어. 이지지르시나 소다 제시 시비는 세딩이 겨워서 이렇게 수준 냐비 시비는
Sri Lanka ada apa mungkin kita pintu ini.
So in the Patimokkha itself, our Lord Buddha used such reasonings, such reasons. For example, in the Patimokkha it says that, oh bhikkhus, it's better to die rather to
Kan Sri Lanka ada di betul ini.
rather to break your vows, because breaking the vows means leads to miseries in a sequence of lives, in the coming in the future. But to die means only you are losing only one life. But breaking the vows means you are losing so many, countless lives. So such reasons are already mentioned in the Patimokkha itself. So we can derive such types of reasonings that are available in the sutras. On the basis of such reasonings, then the logic and epistemological systems are founded by Acharya Dignaga.
말아서 사물로다 투모도 사물로 대바시죠 따지 때문에 사물로다 되어야 디바지 아니자 여 보소소가 제랑 있으면 되는 산지 대바이 사물 되어야 되고 뭐 디바지 아니자데 동에 몇대 치면서 따고 뭐라 여 보소소가 제거데 되어 되게 치면서 그래서 딱 중재부터네 디바 공부요다 여 주고요 또 주투비나 소소 기디 방화 제한 소소였다 이런 집에 배우 책을 했어.
So we all have a very common verse which says that in the sutra, doing nothing sin, do not commit a sin and accumulate all the virtues. Tame your mind. This is the teachings of Buddha. So this verse is very common for all of us in the sutra, right? So then when we use our reasonings, for example, do not commit any sin. Why? Because we want because we do not want suffering. And then accumulate all the virtues. Why? Because we want happiness. So in such reasonings, the faith and the understanding of our within oneself can be developed, and not only developed, can be very firm and very stable. So in this way, it helps us to practice very sincerely and follow very sincerely and with confidence.
겨우 죽고 걸리는데 저 가래스 현재 존재 최소나 뒷바대 뒷바미가 동네 주제스 근데 제부 동네 되면은 주는 뒷바미가 바고 그랬어 근데 제부 대화 때는 대외주 근데 겨우 죽고 스포스나가 수송료가 끼야도
So again there will be one question. If we don't want the suffering, then why shouldn't we commit sins or commit offenses? Then there comes the relationship, because the suffering is the result, and committing sins or committing offenses is the cause. So if one wants to remove the result, then we should follow the causes. We should follow the causes properly. So that is the relationship between the cause and the effect. In this way, then again we can develop our understanding so confidently and so firmly.
근데 딱 뒤에 더더 주제 파트 또 지금 이만 박사를 들이지 송구도 당시 나자에 저学校的吧 박사를 다 지금 대해서 소소 제네 주를 수만 사지 그냥 수만 좀 정말 그리고 제공학에서 좀 돼요 봐. 아 주시 다 속에 내 지금 쇼리 마치트리 야고 줘다 그래서 쇼리야도 소 바스케 송도 좀 방치고 치트리도 봐야고 다시 땅에 이때 가셔서 저거는 저쪽 레이저도 주시 샤발을 당하셨어요. 당하서 수정을 다 인데서 좀 제가 그때 제일 봐. 좀 전에 그 지금 좋아야 매워지 봐. 세번 매워지 봐. 그거야. 앞에나다 이거 가래. 이거 뭐 가래. 이거 요가 가래요. 이거서 그때 수용으로서도 사무실 너무 돈을 봐. 이거 남기 돈을 봐. 뭐 그렇지 않아요. 소송이 어떻게 하요. 그래서 이거 되는 이거 주셔야 돼. 그거 보내 이거 줘야 총대고 보내 이거 다 답해. 저거 지었으면 빼래. 제 가야면 좀 도와요. 그래서 너무 아프지 않아? 근데 개화는 다 하는 실례스. 대인과 손상을 계속 지고 시원하다 주주나 동의 동도 세미가 동의 일을 못 받고 대화 되게 뛰는 하기 대화 자다 좀 세미를 상황이 리발을 한다. 또 세미 세마리 받지 않고 나도 저로 투대요. 그래서
at Buxar, there were around 1,500 monks were gathered there, where all the traditions of Tibetan Buddhism monks were gathered there. And at that time, some were not so, engaged in dialectic studies, and those who don't follow the dialectic system, and although they can explain well by reading, but those who don't use the reasonings, they cannot go farther, go in deeper. Whenever one asks, what's the reason, why? So then naturally stops thinking beyond that one. So this is the reason why we do debate systems here. We have to develop our wisdom, in an infinite way. So if we use the reasonings after reasonings on one topic for analyzing that one topic, for example, by looking at one object from all the angles, from all the directions, and analyze from all the directions with more reasonings. In that way, we can develop our wisdom. So that is the main purpose why we do the debate system. We emphasize more on debate system in order to develop the wisdom.
아니 shum다 다스 과상만 이거 수수 규도를 개했더니 아니 수수 냠에 제거돼 그 고대를 돈을 셔를 배치 지중 돈을 마셔야 봐 지금 제외하고 제도야 이 손대怎么定啊那个就是在技术的影响就是送下来
Jirmuchi, in one of his compositions, wrote a verse which says there are three ratnas or three precious things. One of them is having the intelligent, which can differentiate with reasonings, differentiate things with reasonings. So that's one type of ratna or precious thing. And then the second one is one who can bring all the instructions given by Lord Buddha into his practices. That is one ratna, second ratna, and then third one is those instructions or those those instructions can be explained in a very melodious way or the poetic way to other disciples. That is again one quality of ratna or quality of ratna. And those three ratna or characteristics are the ratnas of the world. So in this way also Jethungama emphasizes emphasize on the topic of using reasonings in one's spiritual practices.
저는 시 영업을 신도는 주론 개신도는 드려 소샤스 빼빼는 스무슈스도스 이렇게 다시 한번 제시고요. 시지고와 남자 요일이죠. 대신 다음에 지면 정부다 요르치 주변에서 신도가 없어. 이렇게 다시 한번 제제 주는 것도 빼지 고아 좀 지금 드려 제는 고추 말했어. 주들라 대신 다음에서 지금 다 다서다 인대 주제 거래 공가리에서 따서는 지면 정부는前面全部把它都在原来拿入多多的交嘞，哪怕爬了前面咱们把谁多，对岸没有这么多，就是这个点呢，这边的上这边新的那不的，是什么的，我就讲述是干哪些事。
Then again, one verse wrote by the fifth Dalai Lama, which says that having understanding of a certain topic, but without using the reasonings, is just like a pile of sands. And this pile of sand can be destroyed within a short time, because it's not firm and not stable. It's just like that, without using the reasonings. Once you have some understandings of a certain topic, but that understanding is not firm and not with confidence, so it can be destroyed by some asking some questions, and destroyed by some other reasons.
当然说的人的当我家人的，讲我们从等到超出生的这边超出生的，我说比如大山大呀，当都说的，就是来的，当都超出生的嘛，这，那讲我们从了个是这边，那就多少是的，就是你去上去，就能穷，就能进，就能进步，比如了以那那就多了多，别是不对的，我们不到有这些多。 아니 아무도 저거 오늘 야 노래도 나가 배 그래서 세 마을씩 노래도 라디오를 배 노래다 아니 마피는 세 노래도 담을 수 있고 노래 상으로 따다 가도 가만해 제가 따도 쓰네 그럼 가도 쓰니 여와 아니 무슨 무엇이도 쓰네 근데 지금 장고 그랬어.
So this debate system, how we do nowadays, is founded by Chabachiti Singhi, one great Tibetan master in the 11th century or 12th century around that time. So he founded this system of debating, and afterwards again another Lama, another master from this monastery, Radha monastery, Chola Vese, a master from this monastery, he composed certain books, which are condensed topics, which are called condensed topics. And so since then, that one in Tibetan we call Duta, condensed topics. So since then, the system of studying the condensed topics is very famous in our tradition and widespread among the Tibetan monasteries. 태보 첨보당 태보 중원서 희나나 마야 판일이 아픈 거 아니 번호 돼야 되거든. 그
방송을 대본 멤버로서 방송을 대신 그럴까 말했어요. 바지에는 당부도 대신 대면서 파를 고르지 대대로가 어른지 공부를 하나자보다 지금 시에네 먼저가 대신 대면이 계속 모아지 빨리 주주지 마 내자 주주지 마세요. 도세 당에 대해 도세는 용당을 드리려셔서 아니 간다다 지금 말로서 나바사마라 또 제고고래 이거는 주로 삼아 두고 제고고래 두놈도 다 이제 계속 이번 동네 아니 아주 그 두놈도 다 실을 진행 돈 그래서 유 제가 돈에 또 지금 또 식단 조린제 제들 그래서 유차 아니 지금 도와도 봤어요 산재남의 중앙대 최대파의 대화에 유튜브 대화대 두번 넘게 거두 됐어요. 근데 산재 대화에 와다 대화대 저걸 뒤지 거래서 되게 잘해. 근데 이 나무 요래서 이 지고대에서 돌에 저한테 주제야 재미있어. 어디서 주제야?
So in ancient time, certain terms were used like Mahayana and Hinayana. And so with those terms, many misunderstandings were happened, and so two traditions were, went in contradiction and, went far away, and no close relation was there for so many centuries. And so later on, especially as soon as the Dalai Lama sees, using such terms are not so appropriate. Rather than using those, terms, it's better to use the terms Pali tradition and Sanskrit tradition. So on that, under that guidance and advice, this exchange program was also initiated in order to have harmony among all the Buddhist followers. In ancient times, when the terms used as Hinayana, then there was something unpleasant errors, and then again other view also come there that Mahayana is not the teachings of Buddha, and so like that. So in this way, a great conflict happened among the followers of Buddhism. And so that is not a good idea and not a good understanding. And in order to have harmony within the Mahasangha of different traditions is our purpose. And so that is also mentioned in the Patimokkha Sutra too, which says that having harmony among the Mahasanghas is the purpose, is the basis or the foundation to have, to develop the practices of the Sangha, Mahasangha. So that is mentioned in the Patimokkha Sutra too. So with that intent, it's always also advised to have harmony among different traditions, and to have harmony among great traditions. Such exchange program is very helpful and very needed in time, on time.
아니 다다다 저기 이제 마다 되게 popular한 돈이 시스템스 도스와 그게 롭사를 되게 근데 맞다 에너지 시작하죠 봐 에너지 맞으면 제가 라보스 기본에 에너지 쓰는 시험이었어 봐 다다 정말 다들 제샤류기 제베 나가 시로설 비지고요 이거는 좀 제보다 지금 멘탈 시송샤 나 고난수다 다다 비지고리도 집어했어요 도대 되는수도 맞죠 도대 되는수 너가 치고 상태 까코라가 되는수 치기래 대줄에 되는수 채고 와 근데 딱 콘서트 왔다 그렇게 나가리나 도대 되는수도 도코라로 되겠지 뭐비 되는수도 대주고 되겠지 들어와서 팀다고 지금 거기는 뭐 팀다고 했지 어떻게 됐어요 근데 무슨 도와서 사진 송 말에 또 많이 받아서 다섯 달 무슨 됐어요 야 벌써 나이부터 돼 고난수다 저한테 되게 제조에 되는 소문수다 주부지 시동 그때 막 뒤는 소리가 중이 소리가 고 대야마 뒤에나 되는 수만 막 뒤수 되는 수는 이제 제단데 네 저자가 숨고 내 지금 요래서 맞아 되래서 개난 속에 다 되는 수만은 또 되는 오늘 되는데 오늘 오늘 대중 봐셔야 되네 도와드리는 친구 소리 이제 좀 친구 소리 이렇게 어떻게 되지 소리도 소리 대해서
So in Korea, Chibabot himself have been in Korea for more than 20 years and teaching there. And there he had an experience like when he interacted with the Korean Buddhist, Buddhist followers, and then asking about what are the Tripitaka. So in our tradition, the difference between the Tripitaka is based on the content. So that is our tradition, and I will share with you maybe as said by our Chibabot, and you want to know about that one too. And then in Korea and some Chinese, they said that the sutras and the sutra pitaka are not same. Okay, sorry. According to those Korean or the Chinese, some of Chinese, maybe both of them, Chinese and Koreans, they accept that sutra and sutra pitaka are similar. Sutra and sutra pitaka are same. Yes, same. And Vinaya is other than that. Vinaya is just like a court or some disciplines. Then Abhidhamma is not a word of Buddha, according to Koreans and Chinese, some of Chinese. Same, they say like that. Okay, this is not from our tradition. Tradition found from Koreans. Maybe, probably, those Koreans accept like that. Koreans and Chinese accept that Sutra and Sutra Pitaka are same. Abhidhamma is not a word of Buddha. Abhidhamma is a commentary. And Vinaya is a code or discipline. That also maybe not from Buddha. That is their concept. And yes, that's their concept. And maybe Kenbuchi wants to know about your tradition. Similar with us, right? Tripitaka. Within the sutra, we can divide 3 parts of Tripitaka, right? Yes. Right.
You mean the Tripitaka divided into 3 parts? Sutra,
Yes. Right. Reading. 공소도 먼저 찍어래. 너 걸어놓는 데는 순간이 아니야. 네.
오컬을 되는 순간
되는 또
오컬은 돈 나세도 되는 순간. 일단 그것도 원 율스나 진루 룰스라고 말하게 때문에 그것도 하나 더 쌓았대. 다 강자한테 그래서 산지 내가 거기서 세웠는데 제가 때문에 산지 마수비 말하는 거 잘 지시하고 말하다. 그래서 그것도 담보기가 그것도 수고로 왔다. 대내랭과 그것도 수가 있어요. 산지가 이 많이 쌓여도 다 돈을 주파를 쓰게 다 주고 제재 돈을 받으나 산지가 이보다 많이 비용도 시작하고 왔습니다. 산지 잘 필요해요.
So, Kirubuchi half jokingly telling to the Koreans and Chinese that if the Vinaya and Abhidhamma are not the words of our Lord Buddha, then how can you prove the sutras are the words of our Lord Buddha? Because at that time, our Lord Buddha himself did not write down didn't write down. He simply teach the people, but not write down, doing like what we do nowadays in modern time. And so then we have to prove from the contents. We have to prove from the contents, not through writings or something. So how do we prove that Vinaya and Abhidhamma are not words, but the sutra are the words of Lord Buddha? How Japanese say like that? Kyuzurmuchi did some more because as we already introduced, Kyuzurmuchi is a great scholar of Sanskrit language too, and he's one of the former professor from Sarnath University too. So Kyuzurmuchi says that actually So Kyuzurmuchi says during the first council, only Tripitakas are formed. Before that, our Lord Buddha taught all those things. But during the Buddha's own time, there was no distinction between the Tripitakas. Something like Vinaya Pitaka, Sutra Pitaka, and something like that is not there. Although the contents are all there, but the classification was not there. The classifications of the three Pitakas are done during the first council, and especially according to the Mulasarvastiveda tradition, we consider the Vinaya Sutra Vinaya Sutra, right? Vinaya Sutra or the Vinaya Pitaka is the main theme which was compiled during the first council, and then the Abhidhamma Pitaka is something philosophical, something more related with the philosophical contents. Then Sutta Pitaka comes something like related with the 37 aids and Samadhi, Vipassana, and those are to be practiced in order to develop the concentration and those things. again, Kyuzumbuchi emphasized that during the first council, that first council was presided over by Mahakashyapa, and at that time there were 500 arhants were gathered, and all of them, but there is one difficult question. At that time, Ananda, Venerable Ananda was not an arhant, so if we do not count him, then only we have 499 arhants were there. But during the first council, it says that it should be compiled by 500 arhants. So that is one question to be solved for all of us. Then later on, Venerable Ananda was become Arhant, right? Arhant, but then also again for the second council too, this was also compiled by Arhants alone, and then for the third council, there the participants were most were Arhants, but non-Arhants are also there. Okay, during the first two, especially during the first council, those compilations are not written down. They were simply, memorized. And how can it be? That is one question. But for that, we can say that those arhants have samadhi, kind of samadhi, which can recall everything, which can memorize everything very perfectly. So through the QA, just like what we do like this, there are too many questions and answers. They recall back whatever our Lord Buddha taught on this topic, these topics, and then after once they compiled all these things into different three pitakas, then all of them are naturally memorized with their samadhi memory, because of the concentration of memory, unforgettable memory. So in this way, only after the third council, those compilation of the Buddha's own words are written down in books.
다들제 다만다 필요하다 뒤진 거 제거야 다들 체리 돈이야 대신 거의 고소다 와 이들도 콘스타지를 가르치고 그랬으면 우리가 이렇게 좀 다르다고 해서 틀린 거 아니다 다 가르치고 그랬으면 민주당 중세시대 지기 이 노력을 센터지를 지금 말했어 민주당 요즘으로 있다 민주당다 지금 이제 실수들은 믿고 다 요즘 남바랑 차차에 좀 어디에 가서 뭐 부탁제대 시요래 어다 믿고도 도수요래 지금 믿고 중세스 제대 지기 노르샤들의 도스 아까 또 수수 되면 그만 나지 정말 sama 다지 두고 제고도 빨리 주기서 빨리 자 주기서 두고 제고도 근데 줄로 두게 제고도 나봤자 많이 봐 정말 우지에 담자 신나는 줄로 두게 그때 담자 이거 잘 전에 시대 두게 담자 더 찾아요래 근데 여기 예술의 시대도 봤어야 자라나로라 남의 주도 다 야자 지금 탈토야 다들 공부시에 하나마다 다 상으로 지금 들은 인사지 되는다 지금 봐서 조교랑 차들 강사지 이게 강의 용어다 지금 줄로 통행 제거해야 된다 그래서 이게 지금 시작이 근데 제가 시는 상황에서 상으로 도우스 어떻게
So disharmony on the basis of misunderstanding, the disharmony among the traditions on the basis of the misunderstandings what happened in India and in Tibet too in ancient times, but all these were already gone, and nowadays we have harmony among the traditions, different traditions. And but where Tibet is stand in South Korea, so in Korea right now, nowadays many Theravada traditions are spreading and carried the Theravadian tradition from Thailand, Burma, and Sri Lanka, and so on. And nowadays it is prevailing or spreading. And at this time, again, some disharmony is there among in Korea among the Theravada followers and Mahayana followers. And many of the Theravada followers of Koreans, they say that Mahayana followers are not pure Buddhist, and so Mahayana is not the teachings of Buddha, and so on. Still, there are disharmonies like that in Korea, and whatever may be. So those Koreans also don't believe in Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, and so on. But on the other hand, they believe in the four gods, right? Four traditional gods. And so for that, Chivabod asked them, how can you say this is possible, that one is not possible, and something like that, yeah? Okay, whatever maybe. In summary, Kermuchi or Chivabod summarizes that we should have harmony among all the different traditions of Buddhism. Although we have differences, difference is not the reason to be disharmony. So on the basis of the differences, we should come together and have united. So that means unity among the diversity. That is the best method. This is also the intent of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and so we can follow such good ways, right? This is helpful for all the followers of all different traditions.
근데 경험을 이렇게 말하는 게 경험을 제세요 되다 힌두 주가 아주 많았어요. 제가 주경방에 동네 이제 제적으로서 배도를 제거했어. 지금 의료대 수를 줘야나 경험하실 때 다다 대우용 그냥 말하는 게 고려하는 거고 있어.
Nowadays in in Korea, so there are some very famous monks there who believe only in religion, but in Buddhism, but they don't believe in life after death. They say the concept of life after death is a concept of Hindus, not of Buddhism. And they say they cannot believe in such such things, and I think that is the lack of studies. So we should study first, and then follow the studies and bring them into practices.
예도 와서 감수, 도와주고 얘네 시와시 그래 감사하고 무슨 중요한 애들이 두무를 돼요. 또 지금 지금 돈에 지금 중세의 돈에 빠지 마토이나 소소를 내보니 마토나 지금 제 무슨 소원을 지제 대마 세마이 보는 데 뭐만이 양념 먹고 가고 이 세마를 봐 세네다 중세를 봐 대지를 봐 중세의 오늘 롱이 제고야다 다른 가서 자우주 손에 딱세 따고 딱데 그렇게 더는 약슈지 따라서 그걸 다른다 다른 가서 마도 내되게 두모의 제주 뜻차되겠어.
So we have all common in Abhidhamma the three realms and six types of beings, and so on, which are available in the Abhidhamma texts. So in order to have a good understanding of those things, again the studies through reasoning is very important. And so for that also we have this debate system right now, and I think this is quite unique to the Tibetan Buddhism. And but the systems or the techniques can be applied by any tradition. The techniques are not unique to tradition, unique to any particular tradition. The techniques can be used by any tradition. Yeah.
So, and then 다 주시 자우주고 네 저렇게 지금 근데 장선다 장 도요를 대비 장우주고 뭐 필요해서 근데 차 대비에 네 남왕을 제바 그래서 제일 구도 당자고 저거제 계속 제당 네 다다 남왕을 제바다 비게 저거지 비게 고속가도 무제 다들 되게 가사랑 빠를 때는 당초서 이게 라디오 장우주기 동안하라 슈베네 장우주고 같이 되고 남왕을 제바 공들레스 근데 장서스들 사정을 공개했어. 근데 공개 도서에 소유했어. 그게 장부주 대수들한테 저 도와줬댔어. 근데 남왕을 키바스 또 남왕을 시바스 또 안디가라 장부주의 퍼주를 들었다가 자나 리우제만 시제에 자배양 내리지로 했어. 좀 내리지. 근데 장 도정을 보시에 이렇게 뭐 수시인가 다음에 장부주 다 기도가 막자에 레시피를 도서라 안에 프로페모 상에서 장부주 당대 들고 바스 소진 고를 조이도 그게 초시고 바사를 공부지 자다고 그래서 어떻게 나지 프로페모 상에서 이제서 다 디나라 투포다 다 자다들 거에 자고 그새에 지금 체당들 보여 말했어. 가지고 배는 배 고치 가르치는 지금 당이신 거였어. 다른 것이 장부주 인풋을 조이도 제일 무시를 두고 써야 되다. 주부들이 여기서 남는 힘으로 주부를 써야 돼. 어두세네 다 장부주도 세네. 아니 이제 경험하면 때문에 나도 가서는 라디오를 때 디지털 소리제네 다들 부르세. 근데 못하래시 그거다. 그 도안에 때 단체를 하고 근데 주주 가사 그래서 제네 아니 가서 예전에 다들 장부주다 이만 교원이나 이슈는 그게 초대셔서 다들 소식을 적응하겠지 장부주도 소다 소식을 하셨어.
So, can you also this thing about first image was displayed of the founder of Chang Monastery, which unfortunately I forgot the name, but we can provide etc. And then at one point also this practice of debate was performed in various areas. There's something called the 5 Peak Mountain in China, which is associated with Manchushri. So some of the sessions were held there. Then also there was another area where this debate was held at a certain cave, which I forgot the name unfortunately, but there's a certain location where this was performed. And then another area was also a cave associated where Jitsong Kappa had stayed in meditation. And at the time around the 5th Dalai Lama, then Raja Monastery was organizing this winter debate session at Chang, which is the area, hence the name Jiang Winter, the winter debate at Chang. And then it is still continuing in Tibet. At present, we have been debating since around 15 days, and there are around 500 monks in Tibet, and we're also participating at this annual debate in Kirin.
어디 장무조로다 대 장무조다 세요 간대의 장무조 소대요래 어디 수목의 장무조세다 광목의 장무조세다 네 장무조 너무 쉽지 다르대요 그래서 네 다 장무조 너무 다 라디네 도세네다 오서 그래서 그러나 올림픽 소리도 올림픽에 그리스의 보소인데 보소 너무 보소들이 요구도 내 바지는 올림픽 다치는 시절에 장구조대 딱 고쳐서 라디오 대안에 장구번에 두세네 딱 두세네 그것도 실천해요 그래서.
So when you talk about the jump and show, it's the one that you're seeing currently being held in Ganden Monastery, which you've been seeing for the last few days. The jump, the winter debate session is exactly what you're seeing here in Ganden in the last weeks. But now also the nuns have a special winter debate session, and some other places too. So you're seeing a spread of this debate, winter debate session. It's a bit like the Olympics, which began in Greece, and then slowly it expanded and is in many more locations, or different types of Olympics, what we can say. So we can have a sort of similarity between those. So it first started in Jiang, in this area. Now we also have the nuns and further other places. So it's spreading this practice of having a winter debate session at the campaign.
근데 장구조 저거 줘야 다雄简 가르치면은 반드시라 제가 남지流식이다 이제 근데 제가 남지流식이 많다죠 그래서 아주 도와 내신이고 자산으로 쓰기들의 마음 도와 근데 다른 시 별로 근데 지금 아니 로 자야도가 있어요 아니 로 중국제 지금 남리치 자산으로 쓰기들의 중도와 대신 예전에 그게 별로다 그게 라디오 자산을 좀 달았지 옛날에 제가 남리流식은 자산으로 줘야 되는데도流당이 줘야 돼 내신이고 줘야 돼 아니 다른 시 베이징 공무원직 자산 줘야 돼 아니 라디오 주주 보드직 자산 줘야 돼 라디오 우리 다들 자산 줘야 돼 어떤 때 배우고 두스 봐 근데 장주를 갖다 좀 따지면 남지 디리다 저거 먹는 계산지 제가 남시 타람세지 어떤 일이 더 너무 지금 그래서
So in regards to the topics that are being examined during this winter debate session, the main one is the 4 chapters coming from Dhammakirti, which is the Brahmanavartika. So these 4 chapters are studied extensively, and many people will have memorized the root text, which is quite extensive. And we also use many commentaries. Also, this practice of memorizing the full text, the full root text, was quite common in Raja Monastery. So there were many monks who memorized the whole Vina section, and people who had memorized Changi Lishingi, which is a text about the differentiating between the interpreted and the definite meaning of the Buddha. It's quite a famous text, and it's quite difficult to memorize. People have memorized the debate manuals of the monastery and many texts and so forth. So there was this tradition to memorize many texts in this monastery in Tibet. And currently the main commentary used during the John Winter session, the winter debate session, is a text from Jetsabje, who is a direct student of Tsongkhapa. So these are some of the texts that were studied and memorized in at the monastery, and specifically during the winter debate session.
근데 다들 한때 좀 맞습니다. 지지직이기 때문에 좀 지기다 별납치는 것도 먼저 다 발리다 레자 취급을 이용이 개론